Part A, Spider-Man's Cross-Species Universe.
First is our hero Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. Next we have Dr. Michael Morbius, the living vampire. And then we have Dr. Kurt Connors, aka Lizard. Number 4 is Max Dillon, better known as Electro. These 4 are the direct results of either lab experiments or lab accidents, resulting in the fusion of human DNA with animal DNA. The Spider-Man films feature many more villains who are actually animal-themed, but they all use technological equipment that resemble animals instead of actually sharing DNA with those creatures.
Part B,
Into and Across the Spider-Verse vs. Live Action. Peter Parker, MJ, May Parker, Ben Parker, Gwen Stacy, Kingpin, Vanessa Fisk, Scorpion, Norman Osborn, Dr. Octopus, Prowler, Vulture, George Stacy, and Stan Lee. And we've got 6 characters who are voiced by actors who also happen to play a different live-action Marvel character.
Part C. Electro, then, versus now.
His previous blue look was based on the Ultimate Universe in the comics, while his newer look is based on his original classic look from the comics mainstream universe. Most on-screen adaptations that we see in video games or animated TV shows will take inspiration from either of these two versions, sometimes tweaking the designs a little, while still remaining rather true to the source material. In the animated Ultimate Spider-Man TV series, for example, they used both versions, originally taking his classic mainstream look, but upon being supercharged, turns into a being of pure energy like his Ultimate Comics counterpart. Just like this live-action Electro, they used both versions, but reversed his evolution in the opposite direction. So about his story, Matt Dillon here was an electrical engineer at Oscorp. He was balding, had bad teeth, and wore thick glasses. Despite being really good at his job, he was essentially a nobody who got bullied around, which led to the freak accident that gave him his powers. This is different from the way he is in No Way Home, which is sort of explained due to the difference in this world's energy, making him regain his physical body, albeit looking different. Not only does he seem to have undergone a complete face makeover, he's also physically fit, and his attitude is so much different, being cocky and confident. So Matt Dillon has these alternate outfits in the two movies, a hoodie and a fireman outfit, both attires being conveniently lying around for him to pick up and cover his naked body. His first main suit, the black rubber suit, was taken from Ravencroft Institute, the place where he was being held captive and studied. It seemed that some of the staff wore these protective insulation suits as they were dealing with high voltage electricity in their research. Electro also has all these electrodes and capacitors attached to his body, even a gauge stuck onto his head, all done by the researchers at Ravencroft, although the practicality of Electro still leaving those things on him without removing them is questionable. So at the end of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, we saw him overloading and exploding, which should have been the end of him. But in No Way Home, he said that he was stuck in the grid and absorbing data. Theoretically, he might have absorbed some information somewhere about Spider-Man's identity being Peter Parker, although he's never seen Peter's face before, and it was this knowledge that brought him over to the MCU because of Doctor Strange's spell. So about him in No Way Home, the different electrical energy from this different universe gave him a different color scheme, yellow. While he's no longer made of pure energy, his physical body can still detect and harness electrical energy, and with the unlimited supply from the Stark arc reactor, he's nearly unstoppable. Even his suit is more practical this time, reflecting his background as an electrical engineer. Apart from the arc reactor, you can see a harness meant to help channel and store electricity. And most interestingly, the lightning formation on his face looks just like the ridiculous mask he wore in the comics, but in a cool way this time. So we don't know if we'll ever see Electro again. The comics had an entire Electroverse thing, where they had Electros from different universes coming together. The main MCU timeline might have its own Max Dillon somewhere,